Hey guys, it's Pressley and welcome to Cool Conversations with Pressley, where we have the not so cool conversations with teens. And today we have a very special guest, Miss Jayden Bartels.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Me too.
Today's topic is something I think that's very important to talk about, and that's comparison.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to have this chat with
Me
you. But before we
too.
get started, do you want to just give her a little introduction of
Sure.
yourself? Tell the people about you.
Hi, I'm Jayden. I'm actually good friends with Pressley, so when she invited me on, I was very excited. We've danced together a lot throughout the years. So yeah, I'm a dancer. I'm also an actress. I'm on the upcoming second season of Goosebumps on Disney Plus.
So cool.
And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to be here. I've loved being. Don't think I've ever actually been on like a podcast.
No way.
I could be wrong about that. I don't have great memory, but I'm really excited because I see clips of this like all the time, and now I'm like in it.
It's very professional. This is
cool.
very cool for me too. But I'm so excited that
Me
you're
too.
here. Like you said, we've known each other for a very long time.
Yes.
We've grown up with the same dance mentor.
Yes.
Shout out Guy
Groovy.
Groove. We love you.
We see each other a lot through him.
Yes.
And we work a lot together with him too.
Yeah,
So.
and we're very much alike. I think we've realized that recently. Like
we were at an event and literally just consistently saying the same things at the same time. It was weird.
It's crazy. So I'm very excited. I feel like this is going to be a very great conversation. So let's just get right into it. So this is pretty obvious, but I think it's a good way to just, get right into this topic. And okay, so obviously I feel like we all kind of feel ourselves comparing to other people all the time.
Absolutely.
So what is the best way for you to get out of that mindset and kind of stay in your own lane?
Ooh, that's a good one because I think it's something I'm still working on and
sure.
probably will always be working on.
Yeah.
I think with like social media, it's really easy to just see what others have and you don't have.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that really helps me is when I look back at like my whole journey, it never went the way I thought it would, and it was always my own way. So like looking at anyone else's journey and being like, why don't I have that? It's because that's their journey. So like, very simple, and it's kind of corny, but like everyone has their own way of getting through life, and like it's not gonna go exactly the same for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's a big one for me, but then also really simply just putting the phone down and like just living your own life, because it's so easy to just see everyone else's life and then like kind of lose yourself and not really like have your own life. So I try to stay off social media as much as I can.
Very important.
But it's really like
It's hard.
It's
so
hard. But I think that's a way that helps me.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that taking that break and the step back is like so important.
I had to add like the timer limits on my phone,
like the parental controls for
literally
yourself.
like I have to get a notification and it tells me
Time to
please
go.
put it down,
Put
and I'm
the
like,
phone
yes,
down.
sir. You're right.
You're so right. No, I agree. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but also, do you feel like practicing gratitude for things also helps you stop comparing?
Absolutely. I think it's whatever you focus on will become the main thing in your life. So if you focus on what you don't have, what isn't going right, the negative, that will be what surrounds you. That will be your energy. It's hard. Sometimes you kind of have to lie to yourself, but you really have to be like, this is what's going right. This is what I am grateful for. Even if it's small and seems stupid, the more that you tell yourself that and focus on that, the more it'll become true, and the more good things that will start filling in that space.
I agree.
But I literally sometimes have to lie to myself and be like,
But that's okay.
everything is great. This is what's great. I am happy. Yeah.
It works.
No,
it's
the
all
brain
about
is,
your mindset.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
That helps so much, even when you're in like the worst state. Just like
fake it till you make
Fake
it.
it
They
till
didn't
you
lie
make
when
it.
they said
No,
that.
it's so
It's
true.
so true.
It's so true,
Yeah.
and it's so important, and it helps so much. But I agree, it's also what you focus on.
Absolutely.
That's literally it. So if you focus on the negative and the bad things, that's just like where you're gonna be at all the time.
Absolutely, and it's hard, and it's kind of easy to focus on the negative
For
things
sure.
sometimes, but you have to think in the long run, this is going to get me nowhere.
Exactly.
Nowhere.
And it just makes things worse, and you're never gonna grow if you're focusing on the negative and what you don't have.
Exactly.
So I think that that's very, very
Yep.
important. But okay, on the flip side of things, in a way, do you feel like there's sometimes a benefit to comparing? Like, do you feel like
Oh, gosh.
comparing? Listen, do you think that comparing kind of be used as motivation in a way, or do you think you should only be like in competition with yourself in a way? Like,
that is,
do you understand?
I fully understand.
Okay.
That is such a good question because that is something I have thought about a lot in life. Okay.
Right.
I am a very competitive person. I will not lie, but one part of me wants to be like, no, don't compete with anyone.
Yeah.
Really, no, it's very true. You really mainly only should be competing with yourself.
Yes.
But I won't lie, it really fuels me being in a competitive state.
And I think that's because we're dancers.
Absolutely.
And, that's how
and when you're in a
grew up.
studio, it's competitive
All the time.
no matter what.
That's just what it is.
But I think that you can't let it be like a, you know, you have to have a friendship, but you can. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna say something wrong because no, you shouldn't compete, but it does fuel you.
It does. I think that there's a fine line between comparison and healthy competition.
Absolutely.
Because you can see somebody and like comparing yourself and wanting what they have, like, but like not taking away from what you have.
Absolutely. And also
like
not
looking
taking
up
away
to somebody.
Not taking away what they have.
Exactly.
Just because it doesn't mean
or like bringing them down.
Right. If someone has something or is doing something that you want, you look up to, I feel like there's a healthy way to be like, they have, good for them, not taking it away. They deserve it. But it fuels me. I want that for myself. If they can do it, I can do it.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's not bad necessarily. And when people in my life fuel me that way, I'm inspired by that.
I agree.
You know?
Healthy
so
competition.
yeah, I was freaked out at first. I was like, no, don't compete with your friends. But no, I agree. And also like there's a difference, like especially with the industry we're in, we have a friendship outside of our working relationship.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as you should never be competing in friendship.
No.
But career, it's not
Yeah.
competing. It's just
It's
healthy
motivation.
Healthy motivation.
That's all it is.
Healthy motivation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I agree. As long as you keep it to where you're not bringing other people down.
Because it's not about taking
bringing
it.
yourself. No, it's not about taking it. It's just wanting that for yourself too, and looking up to it and being inspired by it.
Right. And knowing that if they can do it, you can do it too. Right. Absolutely.
I agree.
I feel like we came to a good point on that.
I agree.
That was a great arc we just took in that conversation.
I agree. Difference. There's a difference between comparison and healthy competition.
And I think it's something you have to be really conscious of, you know, because when you're looking at someone else's career, it's easy to be like, oh, whatever, like jealous, whatever. But there's a way to be like, that's great for them. I'm proud of them. If they're my friend, of course I'm proud of them. I want them to succeed. But you know, I have my own career that I also want things to. So.
Yeah, and knowing that you're on a different path.
And it's not going to look exactly like that.
No, it might take longer. It might be quicker.
Different.
It might look a little different.
Yeah.
Different ups and downs, but we're all going to get there.
Yeah, I'm really mostly inspired by people's work ethic. Like when they're like, I dedicated this much time to this, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I can do that.
I want to do
Let
that
me
too.
set us. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. Now, this is kind of also along the lines of everything else, but how do you stay in your own lane? Like with that motivation and seeing other people, like how do you stay on your own path?
I would say that's
hard.
That's really hard. Yeah. I mean, again, putting the phone down, like a lot of the times I just need to get up and do things outside in the world. And that's my own lane, you know, that's my own life. But I also think it might seem important, drama, gossip, and I get it, it's fun, it's interesting. We were literally just talking about a podcast that's like so juicy and gossipy and we eat it up, like we get it, like it's fun, but it gets really distracting.
It does.
And it makes it hard. So one way I found of staying in my lane is like zoop, you know, I'm here to work.
To yourself.
I'm here to be professional. I keep to myself.
Yeah.
And not everyone needs to know everything.
Oh
my god, sorry, a little bit of a jump scare, but it's okay. It's just a fly?
It's just a fly.
Yeah, it's just a fly. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Guys. Doors have been open.
Wait, what was I saying?
Keeping.
Yes. Thank you. I think a lot of the times, whenever I'd feel something, I'd feel the need to like blurt it out or say things or whatever, and then you deal with everyone knowing everything later on. And I have my close people. I have my family. They know everything, but the rest of the world doesn't need to know.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? It may sound weird, but it's like sometimes keeping to yourself and keeping a level of privacy
is so important.
It's so important, and it really helps you like dial in on your own life.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's move in silence. That's what I say all the time.
Move in
I
silence.
love to move in silence. Like, I'll work hard at what I'm doing, and when it's finally done and finalized and finished, yeah, I'll share it with the world.
Absolutely.
But until then, I'm keeping it to myself.
And it's not keeping a secret. Like, if someone asks,
No.
I'm not going to be like, no. It's just like, I'm not like going around being
And
like
talking
this,
Yeah.
and this is how I'm feeling. And like,
No.
you know, I thought I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I am so sorry. Hold on
You're
one
good.
second. I did. How is that even possible?
And they click notify anyway.
That is so rude. Let me just put it over. Anyways.
No, I agree. Moving in silence and keeping to yourself, I think
Absolutely.
is
But
exactly
you also
how
need
do it.
people that can be there and know what's
For
going
sure,
on.
but the right people.
But the right people, and it doesn't need to be that many people. Have your
No.
close people. They're your go-to people. And yeah, it's just move in silence. Focus on
Move in
yourself.
silence. I agree.
And then you pop out and you're like,
And everybody's like, wait a second.
what just happened? Yeah.
It also just it makes you feel like,
Oh my God, it's the power. Yeah.
I agree. Okay. I feel like everything's kind of in the same
Realm.
category, but most people typically only post their highlights on social media. We all know this. So do you think it's healthy? I mean, it's obviously not, but do you think it's healthy to compare yourself to something so unrealistic?
No, obviously. Yeah.
Obviously not.
I think like it took me a while to realize this, but like you literally see not even a quarter of their life. Like
No.
unless they're literally vlogging 24/7,
You see,
you see
barely
nothing. Nothing. So like, and also what you do see is glamorized or like positioned in a certain way. So like absolutely like you do see life and you see people's real life and it's not all fake. No, but it shouldn't be a place where you say, why do they have that and I don't? Because you don't know if they really do. You
Exactly.
know, people rent Lamborghinis and pretend it's their car. They do not have a
crazy.
Lamborghini.
You don't know.
Yeah.
And like also like I think like think about how many photos you take and you end up posting 3.
Yeah.
And you're like, why
Yeah.
do they look like this? And like they look so perfect. But it's like, think about it. Think
Absolutely.
about like how much you actually do versus how much you share. And that's the same for other people.
Yeah.
Like you really only see so much.
Right.
So I do think that that's also the thing with social media that's so hard is you just see highlights and then that's what you're comparing.
That's it. And my favorite like people on social media are, even if they only show highlights, like it's real and it gives a glimpse of what the rest of their life looks like, but they still have privacy. You know, it's not like their entire life is online. But I love when it's like a real glimpse into their life, even if it's just a glimpse, you know?
I agree.
Fly.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. I mean, you kind of already said this, but do you think it's important to take a break from social media?
Okay, absolutely. I literally don't know how. I have before. I took like almost a complete month off social media. Yeah, which was great. But it's really hard. And I think sometimes like I'm very black and white. I'm a black and white thinker. So I'm like, let me just never go on social media again.
Yeah.
But then like I realized you can do the timer thing where it's just lowering it down. Like it's weird going from a bunch of social media to nothing. So I think just slowly lowering it down is really, really important.
Yeah.
And yeah, the world is different when you're not on social media.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what was it like when you took that break?
Well, also the Sam McCarthy, who plays my twin on my show, he doesn't really have social media. He doesn't like. He's
So
not.
impressive.
He never knew any references. Amazing guy. And it's not a bad thing, obviously. And honestly, like the way he saw the world and communicate, it's different.
It's crazy.
So different than people that are on their phones every day. And it's really interesting. And I think I'm not necessarily saying it's bad or good. I just think he had a different awareness of like himself and his everyday life. And I like really admired that about him. So I'm not saying like that. I don't think that'd be doable for me. I couldn't just drop it all.
Right.
But slowly breaking it down I think it's a really good thing.
I agree. I've also been trying to not like scroll as much or just like, you know, post, go on for a little bit and then get off. And it makes you so much more aware of everything going on in your real life in real time because I mean, you're if you're on social media, you're aware of what's going on in everybody else's life,
But
maybe
not really
yours.
You're literally looking at
Exactly.
a screen. Yeah, absolutely.
You're not present in what's actually going on in your life, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
So I definitely think that maybe, like, if it's not deleting it, but like also just like taking time off and like really being present in your life and the people around you is so important.
Yeah, doom scrolling is way too easy.
It's so easy.
Way too easy.
And nothing really beneficial comes from it.
No, I mean, I learned some cool facts maybe once or twice, but
like,
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So these next few questions I think are very interesting. So how does your goal setting process differ from your friends? If you know, or if they are different, because they may be the same, and do you think that that's okay to have a different way
of going about it? Yeah. I think, honestly, I'm not too sure what their like process is, but I think that one thing that might differ about me is I've kind of had the same goals my entire life. Like, they really haven't changed. And since I was very young, I was like, I want to sing, dance, and act. I always said Broadway when I was young because that's singing, dancing, and acting. But I literally just always, anything to do with the industry I want to do. So I think that something I actually am still figuring out is how to make more like short-term goals, because I have my long-term ones and like I'm doing everything I can to get there. But like I would say I'm the best at like, in this month, I'm going to do this. Like, I've never done that, I don't think.
No, me neither.
But one thing I do is, like, I take on new projects that take up, like, half a year. And I think that's, like, a goal that has a finish. Like, I did, like, competitive dancing. Actually, like, recently. Or not recently. Like, a year, or maybe less than a year. I joined a competitive dance team.
That's so cool.
After, like, 5 years of not competitive dancing. And, like, so that was, like, a more short-term goal. And I only did it for, like, a couple months. And it was really fun. But, yeah, so I think with my friends, like, I know some people that also, like, have had the same goals their entire life. I think also I know some people maybe more academically that are very like scheduled and like know exactly what's going to happen for the next 4 years of their life. And I admire that. Could not be me. But I think that it is good to have your own way of going about it.
Agree.
And you can try out other people's ways, but I really think the way you're going to find yours is trial and error and tinkering with little parts, and it's, again, like we've been saying, not going to look the same as everyone else's.
Exactly. I agree. And I'm the same. I've known exactly what I've wanted to do since
birth.
I could remember. And I have friends that don't know exactly what they want to do, but it's also different because you also go about things differently then, and you can learn from each other.
Absolutely.
And like my friends that maybe aren't exactly sure what their long-term goals are very they try new things
experimental
all the time. So that's also inspiring,
so cool.
Because it makes me want to try
I do the same
things.
thing every week, sing, dance, and act.
Exactly.
They're like trying new hobbies.
And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Can I try with you?
Absolutely.
Like, so I think it's good to have that balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
And neither is wrong or right.
No.
And yeah, I think, one gets to see so many parts of the world and one gets to master a craft. It's like both of those are amazing.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then in what ways do your values and priorities differ from your peers? And do you think that is something that is important in friendships, or do you think that they should be the same?
That's interesting. I think that in like my close friendships, like my go-tos, the people who know everything, it would be tricky if we didn't have the same value. And like, I'm very much like open-minded. I'm not going to sit here and be like, we have to think the same about everything. But I do definitely think that like I meet people and I just by the way that they talk or they treat people or they act or they hold themselves, I'm like, we have different morals or levels of whatever, and that for me wouldn't work.
I agree.
So, but I don't know, I think that that's something I've never really paid that much attention to, but definitely just happens. And I think just subconsciously I attract people that have the same values as me. But I think it's also interesting to talk to someone who completely disagrees.
I agree. I think that you can learn a lot from people that don't maybe think the same, but I think that the people that I'm the closest with and that I surround myself with do have the same values. And again, not on purpose, but I think it's just like you can feel their energy. And like when you meet people, you're like, okay, like I don't know if we really
would vibe. Yeah.
And that's okay. But yeah, I'm also open-minded. I'm never going to be like, oh, you don't think the same on this? Like we can't be.
Yeah, no, I think with like little things, like personality or like what they like or what they're interested in.
Yeah, like,
I don't care. But like how you treat people, what you morals. I can't be seen with someone who's rude to waiters. I can't do it.
No,
I can't do it.
No.
Yeah.
No. That is one of my biggest pet peeves.
And it says so much about them.
So much.
I'm like, what in the world? I don't know. Yeah.
I agree. Okay. So this next question might be a little, I don't know.
Oh, God.
How does your approach to handling stress compare to others?
Oh, I'm so bad. I like, okay, wait. The weird thing is like, I like sometimes will lock in. Like if I'm like, if there's a lot going on, I like will like lock in and like,
oh, that's impressive.
Be better than I ever have when I don't have a lot going on.
Right.
But there are other times where if it's too much and it's like, I don't know where to start, I don't handle it. I just
push it on.
Well, I just like kind of freak out, I would say. Like, I don't know. I like am still learning on how to handle that. Like I get overwhelmed sometimes and just reach a point where I'm like, I can't. But I think other times, and this is what I'm trying to do every time besides freaking out, is I use it to motivate me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, the one thing I heard actually recently is like, when you feel stressed or scared, or I forget exactly which word, like scared, nervous, stressed, it's, yes, you feel that, but it's actually your body signaling that you're excited and ready and like adrenaline rushing for something. You know what I mean? And that you care about it. Because you wouldn't feel that way if you didn't care about it. So that's what I try to do. I try to flip it and use it as like a motivator and be like,
so smart.
Clearly this means a lot to me. Okay, let's go. Let's work hard. Like you feel this way, push through, and I lock in. I don't know why I keep saying that, but it's kind of like really, I'm like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Honestly, that's so smart because I feel like it is because you care about it.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
And I've never thought about it that way.
That's such a good point. Such a good point. And I agree. I think when I'm very, I don't know if there's like a difference. Like there's a difference. I feel like when I'm like stressed and overwhelmed versus like when I'm busy. But like when I'm busy and have a lot of things going on, I agree. I lock in so hard. I am on top of it. But when I feel like I'm more stressed when I don't have a lot to do. Because I'm like, I feel like I should be doing something.
I'm like, something's missing.
I'm forgetting something. I'm missing an appointment. Like, what am I doing? Because I feel like I always need to be doing something. So that's when I get stressed. So I'm learning to not be. I'm learning to take the downtime and relax because that's also why I get stressed because I never take the time to
and then you're burnt out.
Decompress.
Right.
So I think that is something I need
it's
to
confusing.
work on.
It's like a healthy balance of so many things.
It's like you're never really gonna fully
I feel
have
like
it figured out.
No.
At all.
Does anyone? Like I feel like I'm gonna be like 80 and be like still figuring it out. Still figuring it out. Yeah.
And that's like the craziest thing is like we're all living life for the first time. Yeah. So we're all figuring it out. Nobody knows exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
So learn from each other.
Yep.
And what we're all doing.
Yep.
Okay. How does your self-motivation compare to your friends? Do you like to surround people that are also self-motivated? Surround yourself with people. Yeah, you know.
Yes, I know exactly what you said. Yeah. Yes, I don't think I am around anyone that's not. I don't like. I don't. Yeah. I don't know. Like I love being with people and talking about work, or like I love people who challenge me or like make me want to do better.
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone's at a different spot in their life, and I don't judge anyone, but I think it's really also important who you surround yourself with affects you a lot.
Oh my.
So I try to surround myself with like people that I admire their work ethic and I admire what they're doing. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm my self-motivation fluctuates. Sometimes I'm like, I can't do anything. And then I don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm like, I can do everything. And then I do everything.
Exactly.
But I think I have a pretty harsh way of self-motivating myself. I'm pretty like, you know how like dance teachers would talk to us? Yeah. That like, there's no funny business. There's no playing around.
Nothing.
I think that would differ me from my friends is like when I'm like trying to get something done, I'm like, very serious.
Very disciplined.
And I know other people that when they try to get something done, they have to be really gentle and kind and whatever works, you know? Yeah. I found for me that when I'm gentle and kind with myself, I'm like, great, let me lay down and have a bag of chips. Exactly. No. So, yeah. So I think it's like we're just saying, you have to find your own way, but like listening to other people's way will help you
as well. Yeah.
Find your own way.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think it's also, don't know if I'm speaking for you, but I think because we grew up competitive dancing.
Yep, absolutely.
It's the discipline that works because
Yes.
that's what we grew
That's
up
what we
with.
know.
But also, as you get older, you're obviously changing, so that may change too. And that's also why it's important to surround yourself with other people, because you can learn from their different ways and see if that works better for you now, because again, we're all changing and growing as we get older, so it might be different.
Absolutely.
But I do think it's important to surround yourself with people who are also motivated.
Yeah, or just uplifting you in any way.
And never surround yourself with people that are going to bring you down.
Oh, no,
nothing good comes from it.
And sometimes you don't even realize it.
No.
But then when you find people that uplift you, you're like, oh.
Oh,
that was bad, actually.
Like,
that
oh, I
was really
didn't
bad. Yeah.
No, I agree, because who you surround yourself with really makes a difference, I feel like, in who you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's very important. Your circle is very, very important. Okay, this is a good question. In what ways do you celebrate your own achievements without comparing them to others, or like, not like making others feel bad, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, making it all about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a balance.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't really talk about my achievements. I don't want to. Not that I don't want to, not that I'm hiding it, but when people ask me about it, I talk about it.
Yeah.
And they always are shocked. They're like, how have I not heard about it? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what am I gonna, hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm not gonna do that, you know? But I think the people that are my go-tos, they know about it. They're the people that I run to, and I'm like, I'm doing this, and so I celebrate with them, I think is a really good way for me. And I also think you don't really need to be with anyone else to celebrate yourself. Get yourself a little cupcake. Go to the spa. Take a beach day.
Get some ice cream.
Get some ice cream. Get a sweet little treat. No, I feel like there's so many ways to celebrate yourself. Or buy something you've been wanting for yourself. Or do something that you're that's too expensive, or I wouldn't, that you now deserve, I don't think it needs to involve anyone else. But for me, I think I can let myself chill. That's one way that I congratulate myself, is when I really feel like I've worked hard and earned something and deserving, I'm like, let me take a week off or something, which I never want to do unless I'm I want to, what was the word you used? I'm celebrating my own accomplishments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the phrase. I was appraising, I'm not sure. Celebrate, that's what I would do. You know what I mean? Give myself a vacation. I'm trying to go to Hawaii so bad. So let's go, bro.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Perfect.
I'm so
That's
down.
our present for...
That's the next video you see. We'll see.
our trip to Hawaii. No, I agree. I think that celebrating with yourself is the best thing.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it for yourself anyways. You're not doing it for anybody else.
No.
So
And it's your achievement.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. How do you maintain confidence in your decisions, even when others around you are doing things differently?
Ooh. I think one thing that I like about myself is once I make a decision,
that's it.
That is it. I am not going back. I'm not looking back.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's pretty easy because I hate having regret. So literally, even if I don't feel 100% about it, if I've said that's the decision and it's final, I don't allow myself to go back. And that honestly has kind of helped me. Even if in the end it hasn't been the right decision, at least I stuck to it and I wasn't back and forth and back. That turmoil, I can't do it,
Yeah.
So I think that gives me a lot of confidence. It's once I say, yeah, that's it, you know, that's the final deal. But I also think it's my own path.
Yeah.
And there's been so many things where everyone's this is how you do it. Or everyone's this is how I've done it. It's the only way it'll work. It's the only way to do it. And you almost feel wrong because you're well, I don't want to. And why is it not working for me?
Yeah.
But then you find your own path, your own journey, your own way of working it out. And then you're oh, because it wasn't there's 8 billion people in this world. Not every program is going to fit every single one of them, you know? So it really is it feels weird because you kind of feel different, but then you realize there's so many people who have found their own path and made it their own way and dug their own journey, you know? Yeah. So I think that I do have trouble being fully confident sometimes, but I lie to myself. I'm this is it.
This is it.
We're good. We're done. Yeah. It's going to be good.
That's very impressive because I feel I'm so indecisive.
Really?
oh my gosh, I'm so indecisive. I'm really not good at making decisions. Even like, actually, I'm good at making big decisions, but small things.
That's interesting.
So
Like what
bad.
to eat?
Oh, can't do it.
Can't do it.
Cannot do it.
Oh my goodness.
It's so bad. I want somebody to tell me what to do. I'm like,
Okay, I get that though.
don't
I
know.
also don't like having to choose what to eat, but like that's only it. Little small things. Boom. When I go shopping with my mom, I'm literally like, boom, quick. She takes so long. Looks at is that you?
No, okay, so I'm like I like to be like, hey, so like, hey mom, like, what do you
Oh my-
like? And she's like, well, it's whatever you like. I'm like, no.
Oh
I'm
my
like, I'm
God.
asking you what you.
I'm the exact opposite. That's
really?
crazy.
No,
yeah.
I can't.
I get it
can't.
though. I get it.
I can't do it. But like big decisions, I think it's just because I've always known what I've wanted, and like I've always had such
Clear.
a straight focus on that.
Yeah.
So like big decisions, I already know like what I want. So
Right.
that's easy for me. But small things,
You're like, I don't
can't
know
do
what
it.
to eat though.
I really don't know.
I get it. It's hard choosing what to eat sometimes. I'm like,
worst decision.
it's so hard. I'm like, I don't know. Okay.
But then if I'm like, okay, you can choose between this or this, and they choose something, I'm like, ooh.
Okay, but you know what I've
That's not what
learned?
I wanted.
That shows you what you actually wanted.
Yes.
If you're going ooh, that means you wanted the other one, and
Yeah.
then if you're like great, that means
Yeah.
you want.
So I knew what I wanted.
Why do we do this? Why are humans like this?
I do this to myself. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is a good question.
Okay.
What strategies do you use to avoid getting caught up in the competition with your the more unhealthy competition?
Yeah, the
'Cause
ones we were talking about
I feel like we've all
before.
maybe been there at some point where you're like it's just getting to a point where
Yeah.
it's getting more into comparing versus just like the healthy motivation. So what do
Yeah.
you kind of do to try and avoid that?
I think one thing is like for some reason people just want what they can't have.
So true.
I don't know why it makes
It's
no
so
sense. Then
weird.
once you have it, you're like, no
didn't
thanks.
want anyways.
So yeah, so when I like have found myself in that spot, whenever if I have actually gotten it or whatever it is, I've been like, what? That was pointless. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, now there's conflict, and I don't really even want this, you know. So I think that's a reminder I make to myself is like, you probably don't even want the thing, or you're probably not even actually feeling competitive. You just want what you can't have. It's like a feeling of like desire. We all feel like the grass is greener. It's
Yeah.
not. It's
not
not greener,
always
you know.
greener.
So I think I have to remind myself of that, but then also like remind myself that we're two humans on this earth figuring it out, and it's not that deep.
It's
And like
not.
I'm not mad at them, they're not mad at me, you know. Sometimes I use this term zooming out, and I like zoom out and I realize the big picture, and it's like
So true.
it's not that deep,
It's
you know.
really not.
And it probably won't help if you're competitive, because it's not that easy to hide when you're competitive with someone. Everyone will know. Yeah.
No, and it's also like the person that you're competing with or whatever probably wants maybe what you have or what somebody else
It's
has
usually
either
going
way.
both ways. It's usually
So,
going
like,
both ways.
Yeah, you just have to, I like that, zoom out
Yes.
and
yeah.
remind yourself like, hey, do I even want this?
Yeah.
Is this actually worth it?
Yeah.
So, good point. Okay, last thing before we get into our fun little segment after.
Oh my gosh.
How do you validate your successes without needing approval from others?
Well, that's a good one. I think. Honestly, I don't really want anyone's approval except for my mom. Like when I think of that, I'm literally like, okay, the only person that like, so that's something that even though like, yeah, it's my mom. Of course I want her to approve of me. Like it's, you know, she's always helped me with my career. And now I'm kind of like learning how to like differentiate my wants versus her wants, even though a lot of them are the same.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't, you know, we're two different people. So I think that's one that I'm always going to be working on. Not that she's like bad or does anything, but I just find myself where I'm like, Mom, what do you think of it? Like she's the only person that I'm like, I need to know if you think this is right.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's bad because she's also a very smart woman, has never led me the wrong way, love her to death. But, you know, I would love to be able to trust myself enough to do that, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's only my mom. I mean,
Yeah.
a little bit from other people,
Right.
of course, but I think that it's something that I'm still figuring out. And sometimes you just have to take a risk and make a decision without someone else's approval and see what happens.
I agree. I think it's just a part of growing up. I think that just like as you get older, it's something that will come with time, and it's something that you're gonna have to just like
Right.
learn. And
Right.
I mean, I say that, but I'm also like, I feel like I look for validation for other people sometimes, but it's also like you have to be so comfortable and confident in yourself and who you are, and that also comes with growth and growing up.
Right.
But I agree. I feel like I do look for my parents' approval all
Especially
the time.
because I feel like both of us, our moms are a big part of our career. My mom helps me a lot. I think yours does too.
Oh, yes.
So it's like, of course, she's the back end of this. Like Miss Jayden B was mostly her. Like, yeah, right?
Day one, loved it. She taught me how to make slime.
Oh my God. Dude, I just love that lore. I just love that lore.
If you guys don't know, you had to be there.
You had to be there.
You had to be there.
No, but yeah, so it's like, of course, like I always want her to be a part of it. Always gonna ask her, but like I feel like also just with like growing up, as you were saying, moving out, being older, like you start to be like, oh, I know what to do. I know it, you know. But yeah, I mean, I love my mom. I love your mom too. Our moms are the coolest.
They're so cool. Shout out moms.
Shout out moms.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but I started this little series on TikTok called Dear Pressley, where I created this little forum where people can just like write in some things that they're going through or what's on their mind, and I'll try my best to help out and give advice because, you know, we're all learning, we're all growing, so might as well do it together.
That's so cool.
It's called Dear Presley. Did I say that? I don't know. It's called Dear Presley.
Dear Presley.
But I figured it'd be fun to read a little one that we have.
I'm so excited.
On
so this is like a submission.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a real life
submission.
And yeah, on the topic of comparing, I thought this one fit.
Okay.
So it says, Dear Pressley, I'm 15. I feel like I'm falling behind when it comes to relationships. Being around girls my age who are experiencing milestones like their first relationships and stuff like that is beginning to make me feel lonely and behind. I sometimes feel like it's my fault that this is happening to me because I set such high expectations for the people I let in my life, and it's really starting to bother me. If you ever felt similar to this, please let me know how you dealt with it.
Wow. So real.
Such
a real experience.
Such
a real, thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Well, first of all, my first reaction was 15 is young, okay?
So young.
You are not in a rush of anything.
No.
I will not lie. I definitely did not feel that way when I was 15, so I completely get it. And we're not that much older than you, but like 15 is young, okay? You have the rest of your life ahead of you. First of all. Second of all, I heard her say I set really high expectations of.
That's
a good thing.
That is a good thing.
It. Please don't.
Please
don't change it. That is such a good quality and trait, and something so many people work so hard to get and have such trouble with. So commend yourself for that, because that's really a great thing.
It's so important.
I do sometimes see people take it too far and then they just let nobody in, which I'm not saying you're doing. But I think that because I want someone good in my life, I have an expectation of who I want in my life. When that person comes, you'll know. And then you'll have an experience with them in a relationship. And if you don't, and you are like, want to get it over with and want to experience it, you might regret that because it might not be the right person, and it might not be the person that matches those expectations. I completely get it. But I know people that have done that, have literally been like, I have to just get it over with. Like,
that's not me. Sorry, I was pointing to myself. That's not me.
No. Yeah. I know people that are like, I need to get it over with. Like, I feel behind, like whatever. And then they're like, I didn't even like them at all. Like, that was not a fun experience at all. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. And also, you will have such a more like stable because you'll find someone that you actually could probably have something long term with.
Yes, I agree.
You know?
I agree. And I mean, just speaking for myself, I'm 17, never been in a relationship.
There's no rush.
There's no rush.
No rush.
And I do totally agree. A lot of my friends have been in relationships and whatever, and sometimes you're like, oh, like I really wish that, like, you know, I could have that, or you feel like you're falling behind. But I also have such high standards, and I just think that it's because I know that I am like whole in myself, and I only want somebody that's going to add to my life, not somebody that's going to take away from it. And I think that's something that's so important is like, if you're going to put energy and time into a relationship, it has to be something that's worth it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And again, like we were saying, everybody's on their own path, whether it's career, relationship, friendship, we're all on our own path, so it's all gonna look different. And I think it just goes along with this whole episode of comparing. You just have to remember, you are who you are, your story is your story, it's gonna be different. And just know you're not alone.
No.
17 years strong over here, almost 18.
I also think like you're not falling behind. Like, I think rather than viewing it as falling behind, like, there's 8 billion people in the world. Of course, the people that you know in school, whatever you're talking about, there's not going to be the perfect person in that batch. Shocker,
no.
you haven't found them yet. You know, like that's
Yeah.
completely realistic. And you're not falling behind. You just haven't met a person who meets your expectations, which is amazing that at 15 you have those expectations. I did not. That's incredible. Okay, that's incredible.
Yes, that's
like
so good. Don't
yes.
lose it. Like that's more important than just like
wanting
a relationship.
a validation, relationship, whatever. Yeah,
and that'll be more
absolutely.
important later on in life than just any relationship when you're 15.
Yeah,
You
but
know
of
what I mean?
course, make whatever decisions you want, and don't beat up on yourself.
No.
There are other people way older than you that have never been in a relationship.
Yes.
It's not weird.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's not weird. You're not falling behind. And just right now, live life by
For
yourself. For yourself.
Bro,
And you're 15. There's so much more time. You're not falling behind.
you're going to
And
look
just-
back on this and be
like,
oh. Oh.
Yeah. When you meet that person, you're going to know and be like, oh, it was worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
That was so fun.
that was so great.
Oh my
Thank you so much.
Dude, can I come back
Freaking-
again?
Yes,
This
of
is
course.
so fun.
Guys, thank you for listening to Cool Conversations. I've had such a great time talking with Jayden. This has been so much fun.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.